Hey YouTube, this is Prometheus, guys, giving you more than the meta. So guys, I want to show you the defensive strategy that I've been using online. I'm getting rage quits. I'm getting rage quits against good players that just realize that quickly that a lot of times what's going to happen is that the way I run my defense, it messes them up. They don't feel comfortable running it because it's not the meta. Guys, if you are looking for ways to increase your or get better at your defense, you can go to my Patreon. I actually just posted some information on my Patreon's defense, or Patriots defense. I got basically a breakdown at how I run this, essentially rules for different formations that I'm running. So you can either watch all these videos that I'm posting with you guys, or you can go to my Patreon for $1, $5, have access to my ebooks and my Bears offensive scheme, my spread scheme, my Browns and Cardinals scheme, but in particular how I set up my Patriots defense. So let's go ahead and show this gameplay. This is actually 2 quick rage quits. These guys should have stuck out the games. But I guess for whatever reason, they just felt like it was not going to be worth the fight in these gameplays. One of those guys ranked 2,000 in the nation. The other guy's like 42,000 in the nation. I thought the 42,000 was a better player. Now, one of the first things I do is always go ahead and put match coverage on when I'm playing coverage. My preference is to go ahead and obviously put conservative on with the option. I want to make sure I take away any kind of a scrambling quarterback that goes to the outside, and then I go ahead and base align. So those are my key adjustments. I'm able to go score 3 points against this guy. And one of my adjustments is always I use the Palms defense. Cover 3 Sky, I actually swapped it out for Cover 3 Hard Flats and basically Overstorm Brave. And I do have a new adjustment where I'm actually using Cover 9 as my top audible in my scheme. Now I always come out of Cover 6 base aligned is my base defense, and I'll show you. You'll be able to see some of the adjustments against my opponents. This guy's going into wide trips, and when you see this, you've got basically 1, you've got 2, you've got your 3. So this is the strength of the formation. So when I play defense, and this is something I'll teach you in my video and stuff like that, I'm always going to shift my defensive line off to this side, and I've got my passing threats on this side. Now, one of the things I do now too is that when I have a single wide receiver, I'll man this guy up and I'll use her the safety to go ahead and try to take away any kind of running lanes. Another adjustment I'll do too is I'll basically put this guy into some type of a hard flat to get away from any kind of like fast reads. So let's go ahead and see if I set this up correctly. The only thing I don't think I do. Okay, I do shift the defensive lines over. So I want to make sure to take away any kind of a running run lanes, because if this guy blocks, he's going to come up. That's going to essentially put a 2-on-1 in this type of situation. I've also got this guy that's going to come down and play a run fit. So I want him to go to come back. I want him to flip the run against me, and I think that might be what he does with this. So he does do a stretch, but see what he does. He tries to cut back, gets himself caught up, and only gets a couple of yards. Even though there was a hole there, he just missed it. So I jumped into cover 4 palms. Usually is one of the defenses I like to use against trip sets. Single back formation. So what I do with this, once again, I've got the strength of the formations over here. So I'm going to go ahead and take my line and shift over here. I'm also going to go and press this soft squat down because I want him coming in and attacking the run. And my responsibility is to user this guy and watch for any kind of route combinations that come over the middle of the field. And one thing I do want to point out is this guy's going to match with some of the stuff that's coming over, and then the hook vert should match too. So I have to basically watch for anything that's coming over across in the middle of the field, and I got to take that away with my defense. And this is what's broken down in my book and how I actually set this up. Now, one other thing I do want to show to you, this guy's pressed, but what I did is I put him into a deep third, and the reason I put him in a deep third is that he bails quick. And doesn't allow the wide receiver to get above me. Now he's using the Chargers, which the Chargers have slow wide receivers. They're like 89 speed. They're not 95 speed, so they're not going to get over by defensive backs. You can see I shifted everybody over. He does run the ball, but look at the run fit. I got this guy coming in. I think he does make a move against me, but he doesn't go any further than that. He basically gets tackled. So this guy, once again, this guy's ranked 2,200, 2,300 in the game. So he's a good player, and he's using some of this meta stuff, this halfback stretch stuff. I should be doing some type of halfback RPO stretch. So 36 situation, he goes into the single back wing formation, but now he flips it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip my play, slide my guys over. I'm going to go ahead and push my guys down. And then my responsibility is to watch for anybody that's actually crossing over the middle. Now, I think what I do too is I should probably put, so I've got this guy in a press animation and he's playing over the top. I'm trying to look for anything that's crossing over the middle and actually hits me in the seam. So this is a really good play, good decision by him to hit that. That was a good dot, good decision. And he's actually using that tight end attack. And the way my defense is set up, it didn't match up correctly. So you have to kind of take that in, take that into your thought process when you're playing defense against your opponent, that he's going to go and do that. So now he actually comes into a trace set. Slide my guys over. I'm going to play this backside right here. He goes to basically inside zone, and my guys are filling the run fits. He's trying to cut things back into the teeth of my defense. So this halfback stretch is not working for him. So he's kind of losing what he wants to do. Now he goes in single back wing form. And let's see, I flip the play now. I kind of changed it up a little bit against him because I want this guy to come down and play a run fit and kind of attack that run, and I should be sliding this guy over. Now, what I'm going to do right here, I'm going to take this guy and put this guy into a deep third, but I do have a deep half fit right here, so I did switch it over. You can see I actually made the switch, and I'm actually coming down, and my responsibility is that if he does run, I want to try to come down this way. He gets off the line, he beats my guy, but because I've got edge pressure, he actually lobs the ball up, and I'm able to go and click on and get the ball. So if that was a faster team and I didn't have a defender in his face, he probably would have got away with it. But unfortunately, he gets in a situation where he saw me making adjustments and taking away what he wanted to do on offense. And as a result, he actually goes ahead and quits out in this game. He doesn't want to play anymore, so I get a rage quit. And this guy's ranked 2,400 in the nation. Now he's a 500 player, but this guy's played almost 900 games online, and he just quits out real quick like that. So. Quick rage quit, gonna go and jump into another gameplay. Playing against Dallas Cowboys, really strong team. One of the things I do is when I'm playing against a team like the Dallas Cowboys, I always do outside zone runs as my defense. Adjustment pre the game. I'm more worried about the running back Pollard getting the outside against me than the inside. So that's one of the adjustments that I do when I do play against the Dallas Cowboys. Once again, I'm going to go switch in the match. Tackling conservative, option conservative, and then base defense. And I ended up in this type of situation. I ended up getting the ball, but I actually come up short. I actually I didn't convert on a fourth down. Had a draw pass, and I was actually in a bind. I needed to get a stop against this guy. He had a short field. So I'm going to set up my defense, cover 4 palms once again. Basically cover 3 hard flats is my other adjustment, and then I'm going to go ahead just because of the clock chewing down. I didn't want to try to set up another thing, but I wanted to cover 6 as my base defense. All right, so I go ahead and jump. Anytime I've got a trip set like this, I'm going to go ahead and go into cover 4. And my goal is to actually go ahead and put a hard flat out here. And if I can, I'm going to put basically a deep half, and I will man this guy up if I have the opportunity, and shift the line off to the strength and try to go ahead and come down and attack any kind of running that goes on. You can see those adjustments set up. He actually goes ahead and does basically simple stick formation. It's well locked up. And he smartly takes off this quarterback. So he saw that everything was locked up. He didn't make a bad throw. He didn't panic. He went ahead and took off with his quarterback, and he almost picked up a first down on that. So guys got some good decision making on offense, and that was basically based on the first play. It's like, okay, this guy knows what he's doing. Now, when I see these tight formations, basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and man this guy up. Man this other guy up. Typically I like to zone drop one guy out, but because he's already scrambled this quarterback, I'm going to put these guys into QB contains, and then what I'll do is I'll do hard flats just to try to take away any kind of flat route against him. So we're going to set this up, and he actually runs the ball, gets a nice little off tackle run right there, broken tackle, and gets the ball down into to the 6-yard line, first and goal. So it's a good run right there. He does inside zone. Picks up a good first down. Trips tight end offset. Typically in this type of situation, I'm going to go ahead and jump onto palms, and you can see what I do with this. So he scrambled on his quarterback, so now I can expect him to scramble. I'm going to press this guy down. I've got this guy into a hard flat, and I've got matching principles where these guys are really not going to go over far. And I think he actually goes ahead and does a run. He does a read option, and I'm able to go ahead and get him, hold him to 2 yards, which is good. You know, it just makes it a little bit tighter for him to go ahead and get the ball into the end zone. Back to the cover 6 again. He goes in the wing slot, and I make a bad adjustment here. So I slide my line over. I press these guys down. I'm assuming that he's going to try to throw a slant. So what I do is I actually go ahead and put this guy into a hook zone. Bad decision. You're going to see why. I go ahead and put this guy in a hook zone, and I think I put this guy into a flat with the anticipation that he does some type of slant flat. I'm going to have somebody here, and then I'll basically be able to cover up any kind of a fast route off the backside. He hits me with a play, which I should know better than this. He basically hits me with just an RPO bubble. This guy sucks in. This guy comes in, and he basically hits me with an easy touchdown underneath. If I would have left the defense the same way, that means another guy would have fell over to that would have had a 2-on-1 type situation, but I ran the wrong defense. I overthought it. But you know, down in the red zone in a first series type situation, sometimes you don't know what to expect, what your opponent likes to do. So right here, I actually go ahead and swap out cover 1 hole for the cover 9-2, and the reason why I jumped into this is because he's been flipping his plays where he has the strength of the formation either left or right. So I want to be able to adjust my cover 9 or cover 6 defense based on where he has strength of the formation, and I don't want to get myself caught out of position if he goes ahead and does that. So back on defense again, the game's scored 7-7, and he comes out of the gun bunch offset. So whenever you see this is pro Madden stuff. Most people like to run gun bunch, and this is how I like to go ahead and defend it with cover 6. Once again, I'm going to shift these guys off to the line. I'm going to take this guy, I'm going to drop him into a seam flat, because I really want to flood any kind of route combinations that come up like so. I want to have this area just as a crowded form too. I'm going to go ahead and user this guy and look for any kind of a crossing route that comes over the backside. Other thing too is I'm going to go ahead and lock this guy up in man coverage. So this is when I see bunch. This is essentially how I run my defense against bunch. This is exactly how I run it. And I shift my line off. And what he chooses to do is he actually chooses to use one of those meta plays, and he missed the dude. There's a guy that was actually coming up the seam. He completely missed this guy, and I think he was looking for the crossing route over the middle. And because I actually took that away, he didn't know what to do with it. And right here, he scrambles and actually throws the ball away. So I've got him I've got him basically on the snide right now. The double post play is something that he wants to do. This is a meta play. You see these on YouTube videos. You've seen this icon before. So I'm going to run the same exact defense once again. Shift my guys over. Put a seam flap. But here's the difference. This is one of the things that you need to pay attention to. This defense plays a little bit different when you're on this hash. What's going to happen is this guy, I believe, should come out and get matched. He's going to get into the passing lane, and then we've got this route that comes over the top, and then you've got your little crossing route over the backside. My responsibility is to cover the crossing route. The running back actually will release and get underneath, and he's got the wheel route that comes over the side, and this, you know, the fast hitter is going to be kind of like taken away. I'm going to come down to the box to defend against the run, and then right here I'm looking for the crossing route. You can see the crossing route is over here. This guy matches up because he's on the hash. I've got basically two guys right here taking away his fast hitter, and this little drag route actually comes right back into another lead. And the only thing he really has is a C route, but he really doesn't. It's all locked up, and right there I'm able to go ahead and get another sack against him. So it was a cover sack. Didn't know where to go with it. Basically, cover 6 locked it up, and it was on that particular hash because when he was on the other hash, he got himself basically an opportunity for a touchdown, but he misread it. So I got away with one. I was actually kind of lucky that didn't do that. So now he comes in a single back wing slot. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and send some pressure after him. So I think what I do is I put this guy in a deep third, but I'm going to go ahead and send some pressure. And my responsibility is to cover this guy up. I think quickly what I did is I was actually trying to come down and get onto this guy because there's really not much of a threat, and it's a passing situation. So I don't set up the pressure. But you could see with the match coverage, this is what messes people up, is that these bracketed coverages just throws people off. So I was actually thinking about sending pressure, but I switched off of it based on the alignment of the set, and I'm able to go ahead and get a pick six against this guy and capitalize and put it in the end zone. So he ends up quitting out. Why he quit out, I don't know. This guy's got a ton of games under this belt. He wins a good percentage of his games, but clearly he didn't like playing against San Francisco. I'm assuming maybe a user that knows how to use San Francisco. It probably frustrated him a lot. So, guys, if you guys are looking to, I get a lot of rage quits. I get a lot of turnovers when I'm running the match defense. So you guys want to check it out, go to my Patreon, and you can go ahead and check out how I break down the different formations. So thank you for your support, guys. Until next time.